Hello everyone, welcome to the final round of Beach Hack 4, that is the final product sub presentation round. We have with us a vibrant panel of judges, Akshay and Shaju, who is a technology consultant at Medrock Innovation Proprietary Limited, Australia, Ms. Nandini J. Warrior, who is an assistant professor of Price College of Engineering, Irinalakuda, Ms. Reza Varghese, who is an assistant professor of Price College of Engineering, Irinalakuda, and Lasa Tony, who is a software engineer at Saudi. So without further ado, let's begin with the presentation. Kindly note, after each presentation, we'll be having a Q&A session. So for the first presentation, I call upon Team Josephites.
Yeah, thank you. Let's come on. Good morning to the judges. Yeah, Masha, could you please go ahead with your presentation?
So is my slide visible?
Yeah, that's right.
So we're starting. A warm greetings to all. We are Team Josephites from St. Joseph's College of Engineering, Chennai. And hereby, for the beach hack, we have developed an idea which we have named as Homey World. As the name suggests, you could have guessed it is related to home and world. Yes, we are bringing the real world environment inside our homes with the fascinating technology of augmented reality. The problem statement we have attempted to solve is that for the specially abled youngsters who are deprived of both physical and mental activities, since they are restricted to their homes, by developing a software that will entertain and enhance their physical and mental abilities. This is because these specially abled youngsters are sometimes hyperactive or might react differently unlike normal people. They are generally prevented from joining any social events, and sometimes their family also tend to avoid any such social gatherings. It's painful, isn't it? They are also viewed as dependent person as always. What happiness or entertainment do they have since they are mostly at their homes? Locked rooms or marginalization, institutionalized, or the parents even not admitting they have specially disabled people. It's been a regular practice since many ages, and we hope we found an interesting and interacting solution for it. With the solution of AR, which is nothing but augmented reality, we are going to bring the outside world within our homes. It also brings a seamless scene generation inside our homes. Actually, we have planned three modules which benefits the specially able children. The first module is the play area for the specially able youngsters, which is safer inside home. And number two is a customized character chasing module. Hereby, we have made a module of a bunny running. He or she can chase the bunny, which is in continuous motion and is not possible in the real world. And the third module is quite interesting. It gets our shopping done with so much of ease. Means the parents or caretakers need not take them to shops or leave them behind isolated while going for any purchases, because we are going to bring any shops as per the wish of the person virtually to the user and make them select dresses. Then with 3D scanning we could get perfect measurement of their body of the dress, add it to the cart, and the purchase is done. Just as simple. Now I've given an overlook of the three modules. Now over to Vijay Raghavan. Let's deep dive into it.
Could you please next slide, please? Yeah. As such, Devashta said, we have three modules basically. The first two modules are to entertain the specially able the youngsters. Let's take they need an entertainment override, but they can't be get to the outside world or they are in the real time world. So that we are bringing them the play area which they want to play into our home itself. For example, let's take they can play with small balls kind of things which can be parted and which can be thrown over their halls or in the living rooms in an augmented way, so that they feel and they get a good mood and they feel like they are playing with the balls and all. Then the second module we have planned is like the characters which they are most fond of, the customized characters we can bring into a real time world. Like as such, the augmented real, we can chase over it or we can play with it. These are the two modules which we have planned for the entertainment part of that. That can be initially like basically augmented reality when it comes to into into the picture. It comes with the plane detection part, which is known to be the positioning of the augmented reality objects on the scene on the scene kit of their performance. Like then the rendering process, it's the process of rendering the 3D objects into the real time world. That, for example, let's take in a module two, we are planning of having the customized characters of the specially abled ones, so that they can that 3D objects will be rendered into the real time world into an augmented way with the use of the rendering process. Could you please go to the next slide, Varsha?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The module three, as such, the Varsha said, we are bringing a shopping complex or a shopping thing, or it may be any kind of shops into our home itself. So that basically, like specially able youngsters, they might feel somewhat like frightened over the crowd, or like they may be overreactive also. So that the parents or the caretakers would not much take them outside to the shopping and all. If else they want to leave them in the house, they will also like they will have a thought like, what if they fell across the bed or somewhat like that. So that why not we bring our shops into our home itself? That's what the motto we attain this process. We bring our shop into our home itself. We can select those dresses, and with the help of 3D scanners, we can scan our body, and with the help of the scanner, we can get the measurements of our dresses, and then it can be get further to the billing sections. As of now, let me show these three modules in a prototype wise.
Should we stop listening?
Is my screen is visible right now?
Yeah.
Just a minute. It would take a few seconds to detect the plane over the part. Yeah, it has detected. This is the first module we have planned. That we can drop over the balls in the living room or like wherever we can go. Like the especially able youngsters could feel that they are playing with the balls around the living rooms. Could you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like this, we can plan. This is one such a prototype. Like we can bring any other kind of 3D objects into this module also. Shall I go to the next module, please? For the first two one, this might not be needed. As of this is the prototype. This is just a setup of the module. Like just a minute, I will just show. Yeah, okay. Especially able youngsters will get that they customize characters over like this in the real augmented way, so that they can follow it across the living hall and they can play with this kind of stuff. And the third module which we have developed is the shopping type of complex. Hereby we have took Reliance Trends as an example. Just a minute. This is the gateway of our shop. We can get into the shop within our home itself, and then we can navigate through the shop, and we can just pick the dresses whichever we needed, and then we can furtherly get into the billing sections of further also. Like we have also 3D scanners, but 3D scanners is just an open source. We could integrate it, but since I don't have my brother over to show you as an example to scan and all, but we have implemented it in the prototype video. So let me show you that. This is how we will be get scanning our body, and then the body is 3D body will be created. And then those measurements will be recorded and it will be shown here. We can be also manually change that too. This is just a small prototype. The technology stack we have been used here is basically when it comes to augmented reality, we will be using Unity as a software. I mean Unity as an IDE. Then ARCore and VeraCore is used for position tracking and scene kit development. And then for planning across the platform or else the plane detection part, we are using the cross-linking map blueprint, which is the spatial one. These are all some kind of the output. And pros and cons of the product is the main factors is that we have play area doesn't hurt the specially abled ones, and no hardware components or such anything is involved here. Like the interactive AR environment would enhance the feel of the specially abled ones. Like they might get a good feel with that. Then the shopping is also made easier. Some of the blue dependencies we have around here is like getting the shop into our app is that like the shopping owners should give their blueprints to us. That's the only dependencies we are having around our product. That's all about our side. Any questions?
Okay, so now let's move on to the Q&A session. So the judges can ask their questions to the team.
What is the kind of disability? What kind of disability disabled person will be using this kind of? Is it them blind or dumb or physical disability like movement disability? What is your target audience?
Mainly like except visible ones. Sorry, I'm getting an echo. Like except the blind ones, we can. Sorry, could you please hear me? Like I'm getting an echo over it.
Yeah, we can hear properly.
Yeah, okay. Then except the blind ones, it will be okay for all other specially abled persons because the augmented reality is just because we need to see it. It's the only way because that's the only one we couldn't cover in our specially abled ones. Our problem statement was to attempt it mainly regarding the specially abled youngsters who are kept inside the home, who doesn't behave well in the outside. We need to plan it according, and we need to give them the entertainment part over the home itself. That's the one they have given us the problem statement. We had covered at most specially abled ones as such we can, except the blind ones we couldn't cover because our module was like that plan in that way.
It was totally based on the vision. So without vision,
without
it work
that's the only part we can't cover.
what about who have locomotion disability? So will you be able to scan the body, that face feature that we're talking about, scanning for shopping?
Ma'am, we have also attached the entering it manually also. Like it is not necessary a person should stand in order to scan the body. We could also enter the measurements manually also with the help of the parents or caretakers too. So any locomotive disability or physical disability will not affect the system.
We have both options, like I said.
It's a dual option system.
In one of your window, you have shown some objects appearing, red ball appearing.
Yeah.
So have you researched on the requirement of such disabled persons? Have you studied the requirements? I mean, have you consulted with someone who face these difficulties? What is the significance of showing these kind of random balls? That is the question.
Ma'am, mostly in present time, I have visited few houses of people who are physically and mentally disabled. Most of them play with artificial things like balls or building homes in their own homes, which doesn't make it natural, or which doesn't make it more interacting. The only thing that they remember or they do is they just play with things which they could touch or something. But playing with the same things again and again, which is without any interaction. The reason why they're in home is that they could interact with a lot of people outside. So the main motto is to create an interacting environment in the home so that they couldn't feel isolated, which helps them to enhance their physical and mental abilities. So that we try to bring such things into the screen.
And then also they are fond of the colors which they have, like a
It's
pink
more
color.
attractive.
Yeah, when it comes to be an interactive one, they were attracted to it and they will kind of playing it.
You have also shown that
A rabbit running.
trial app for clothing,
Sorry,
shopping app.
shopping app. Yeah, that's an additional part of that, which is
Disabled people, or I think that is done mainly for the common kind of trials, right? Trialing the clothes. Have you done something special for disabled people in that?
sorry, ma'am, couldn't get your question properly.
Actually, you have shown the prototype like this for normal people.
Okay.
But problem statement is you have to concentrate on disabled people, right? So what kind of enhancement is done in that to help differently able people?
Our problem statement is regarding that we should entertain the specially abled youngsters. That was the main constraint which was we attempted. We need to help the specially abled youngsters part. So that we had utmost covered it, because the youngsters may have their parents or the caretakers. With the help of them, we can get their new dresses and all. That's the part we have covered our problem statement. But the above part which you are asking is like they can't scan own body and all. Sorry, ma'am.
When we have made your project work,
Varsha, could you hear her? Like I couldn't properly hear.
Ma'am, can you please? We couldn't hear you
We
properly.
couldn't hear you properly. That's right.
is that an additional enhancement we have made?
Yeah, that's an additional enhancement we have get into our product. The first two modules are the only modules which we plan for our entertaining the specially able youngsters. The third module is our additional feature which we give to the specially able youngsters, parents, their caretakers, all.
About the blueprint, right? So the person needs to take a blueprint before using the application. So can they just get a blueprint and store within the application, or do they need to take it again and again whenever they need to use it?
Blueprint of the stores.
You are just scanning the room, right?
Yeah.
So initially you need to scan the room and create a blueprint of the objects or maybe the floor and everything. So can they store the data, or do they need to scan it again and again?
No. It doesn't need to scan it and all. It just need a plane detection part. It just need to detect a plane so that it can the 3D objects can be placed over on it. For that scanning part only, it may take time, but it doesn't need to be in a repetitive way. If it's being already detected for much more times and later, then it can be detected easily when it goes on.
Okay, and regarding the AR game, so there are like plenty of games available in Apple AR game. or when it comes to Google, there are Google ML Kit available.
Yeah.
So there are existing samples
Okay.
for games similar to which you have shown, and there are like different type of games as well, which we can connect to hardware devices, maybe VR devices, which they don't even have to stand up and scan the room, so they can just enter into a virtual room and they can start playing.
Yeah,
So
that's what.
consider that.
Like in the second module which I have shown you, like the bunny running across my room, the scanning part which won't be done for their youngsters. As this is the prototype, I'm just for letting you know that I'm doing the scanning part, so that I have shown you that the scanning part. If else for the as the map, if the app comes in the market, it will be straightly showing you the like the navigating way of the rabbit across the room. It doesn't go with the like scanning part and all over in the product.
The AR part, the game, the simple games are already available. Maybe with the Unity samples, also Apple ML Kit, Core ML, and everything. So like, if you are considering some deepfake technology or something, then it would be like really great. But what you have done is just simply moving objects on a 3D map space. So even if it is a virtual space, that can be like, that's an existing technology, right? So what is your actual innovation in that? So creating custom objects is not something new. So you can even use your image and convert it to deepfake, object, and you can see yourself working on the floor. The technology is already existing. So, what is your level of innovation in this part? Especially for the especially able.
Okay, we need to entertain them in a way so that we planned it as such this, so that we may come up with a new idea also. Yeah, sure. We'll take forward here.
Yeah, so as a first prototype, it's very great. The thing is, you have developed basically an AR game, right?
Yeah.
So we have to incorporate something that is specifically for the specially able ones, because normal games or the usual games will not entertain them, right? So that is the statement here. So as a first prototype, it's really great. So what are you planning to incorporate? You can incorporate like specific audios. There are certain researches like certain audios suit them. So what are you planning? How will you make it suitable for the specially able ones? Or what type of colors or what type of games would interact them? Have you researched on that?
That's what and interact mostly if the color is somewhat like bright, they would go with that, so they will be attracted to it. So that we have been choose the pink color for that ball detection and all, and the rabbit across the rabbit has that color only, so that we choose the gray color. So we have been searched for it, but in a little way we have implemented it.
Okay, then one thing I had a doubt was regarding the shopping module.
Yeah. Okay.
How is the navigation done? Is it through manually walking or through the remote or something?
No. It's by manually walking we can get through into the shops.
So my doubt is the blueprint you suggested would be the blueprint of the shop, right?
Yeah.
So if we walk in my home according to the blueprint of another place, it would cause problems, right?
For that, we had an idea over it, how to overcome, because for example, let's take a shop maybe a big size, but our home will be a small one, right? That's what you are asking. Like we can't go through all over the shops in a short period of time. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes there might be some obstacles. Suppose for
that will be detected by the when it comes to augmented reality. AR Core detects the objects over it, and it will be placing the AR objects on it according to the detections only, so that if there is an obstacle, it will not be placing over it, because here when I showed you, the plane was totally free, so that it came across the small part of it. If there is an obstacle, it will not be placing over any objects over there, it will be moving aside. Automatically AR Core has that ability to do that.
Okay, so you are just taking the objects and placing it in your own house.
Yeah.
in the
rendering the 3D objects over it, and we are placing over
So
here.
you won't be requiring the blueprint of the shops, right?
Sorry.
So you won't be requiring the blueprints of the shop, right?
We require the blueprint because, for example, let's take they may have few dresses over there. In a shop, they may have left side for girls, right side for boys. To make them at such of realistic, we will bring the blueprint. But when there comes an obstacle, it will be changing accordingly. As such, we have planned here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you
Any
so
other
much.
questions, ma'am? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Josephites. Next, I call upon Team Broskies for the presentation.
Hello, good afternoon, judges. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? I hope I'm audible. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Shall we start? Okay, I'm starting. Good afternoon, everyone. We, Team Broskies, we are engineering sophomores from Sri Krishna College of Engineering Technology, Coimbatore, and we are here to present before you our project, Stereo. Here, the unprecedented. What is stereo and what problem statement is stereo addressing? People with hearing impairments confront numerous challenges in their daily life, and one among them is communication in public. Lack of understanding and proficiency in the sign language by everyone is one of the reasons deaf people feel secluded from the public. To remove this accessibility barrier, we've come up with Stereo. Stereo is a specialized mobile app specifically designed for people with hearing impairments. It notifies the users as a text while the mobile vibrates if the name of the user or any high-frequency sounds are detected around them and which needs the attention of the user. It also recognizes the audio followed by the keyword and converts it into text, thereby providing them a way to actually engage in the happenings around them. We've used Dart programming language, Flutter for open source UI SDK, Figma for vector graphics and prototyping, and Firebase for the cloud storage. And now let me explain the app within real life scenario. We have seen old people in a house and we have also seen deaf people out there in this world. They have a lot of problems going out in public without help with them. Here, when the old man is unable to hear someone's calling out, he is not aware of the situation around him. He cannot give attention to what they are speaking, or he cannot even grasp what they're telling about. This is where our app comes into play. Whenever the old man's name is called out or some high frequency sound that needs his attention is called out around him, the app starts to throw an alert and it starts to vibrate. And with this, he can know that someone is calling him or something needs his attention around him. And when he can open the phone, the app starts to convert the given audio into text and shows up it as a message. So when the situation happens, all he needs to do is just take out his phone after the vibration. Then he can get to know what is happening around him and who called him and what's the message. And that will be stored further in the front end, and that can be stored for further processing and for the users. And here is the Firebase authentication. And now I would like to go straight into the live demonstration of the project. Welcome to Stereo. If you're a new user, you got to sign up. And as we already have an account, I'll just log in. And here we have landed straight into the landing page. Here, the messages that are converted into text through the audio recognition is popped up here. Here you can see all the messages that are starred. And now going into the settings, you can just give them the permissions and turn on and off the notifications, the pop-ups, the high frequency sounds, and the converted notes. As the Android emulator doesn't have the recording purposes and facilities, we'd like to switch over to a mobile presentation and show the app in our mobile. going out to the presentation. I'd like you all to focus on the mobile presentation. I hope you can see it. Yes, now I'm opening the mobile app. Here, now you can see. Hello, Ashwin. Yeah, the alert is thrown. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? How are you doing? Yes. Yes, and then it converts the preceding audio into text and shows out the message for the user. Well, this is how our apps demo rolls out. And here, this will bring out a lot of confidence to all the hearing impairment people out there, and this will make their life even better and easier. I'd like to thank BeachHacks for the opportunity they've given us, and to everyone who have assisted us throughout the day. And thanks for hosting this awesome event, even after the rain issues and having a very good event online. We thank BeachHacks for this opportunity, and gracias. Thank you.
Now let's move on to the Q&A session, so the judges can ask their questions too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are the languages for this captioning or subtitling? So it uses speech to text, right? So what are the languages that your application will identify?
Yeah, as of now, we have done it in English. As of now, done it in English, and we are planning it for a bilingual. As it's been just a 24-hour hackathon, we have just did it in English. But as of the future update, we have planned for other languages, also in the regional languages, that will be very much helpful for all the people out there. Even if they're not literate in English, they can also use their other languages that we'll be hoping to bring out in the upcoming days.
So already this kind of captioning or subtitling it exists, right, for English. So what is the kind of innovation that you have applied here?
Yeah, actually, there has been a lot of tools for converting like audio text, but the main thing is the string matching. As we've given the names out, as of now, we've given the names in the Firebase, and as of when the name Ashwin is called out there, that's the name of the user, and it starts alerting and vibrating. That's what brings the novelty here, that when he's outside, as soon as the mobile phone starts, the app also starts recording. So whenever his name is called out, the app starts to vibrate and the preceding audio is converted into text. And that will help the hearing impaired people to come out to the outer world with much more confidence and message. Yes, they cannot hear me. You can hear me.
So the major contribution in this project is that the name will be identified. The name of this deaf or the person who have hearing difficulty will be identified, and it will be converted to vibration, right?
Whenever the name or some high frequency sound that we have been feeded it in the Firebase, the name. Yeah, I guess you can hear me. Sorry, is it audible, right?
Okay, can you please repeat it?
Yeah, can you hear us, right? I hope it's audible. Yes, sir.
You are audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's all about this. If we have even string matching here. Like the most important part here, the part that makes more complicated is string matching. Like if the particular word, if the recording hears a particular word, it should pop up the message. That's been the most difficult part, because audio to text converting is a normal thing that we can do it. But based on the string, that, like, for example, anyone can have there are a lot of people around us, but if the person's name of the deaf people's name has been called out, then it should be converted further text into audio. So that's the complicated part. So the string matching based on the audio it is recording, like the name that we hear, we can given as like if the recording is on Ashwin, so it should turn on the app, and the further text should be converted into further audio should be converted into text, so that the user can know what someone is trying to convey to us.
Yeah, and not only just name, you can also some the alerting sounds around them, which will just act as a virtual ear for them and just give out the vibration. That will be very much of help for them and bring them outside. Their confidence will be boosted up. Going outside, this will help them a lot in that. I guess you muted yourself. Sorry.
Can you please show the interface? We had seen three options. Yes. You have to log in, right?
Yes.
Okay, just to confirm. So, are you guys using Firebase ML Kit or something in order to convert audio to text?
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat?
So, like, are you guys using Firebase ML Kit in order to convert audio to text?
APIs.
Sir, actually, for the most viable product, we had used ML, but that wasn't quite feasible for the product as the app size was large. Then we figured out with the help of our seniors that there are variable Flutter packages available to implement the same methodology without using ML that would make the app much more feasible. Hence, we relied on the developer packages which are inbuilt in Flutter, and hence we built up the solution with that. Sir.
Like, when you consider India, like, we have different pronunciations for the same name in different states. So, how will the app react if you know call it with a different pronunciation? What is your like expected confidence score when I say Ashwin to the application?
Sorry, it actually not, it has a mass handling that it further comes out. So when the particular name is called, it can figure it out. Like we have given a certain names as an input. Like here we log in as Ashwin. So here given Ashwin as an input, and also certain frequency depending on WAV file. That is how the audio is converted in Flutter. So we are also given this an input. So if those are given as input, it recognizes it, it matches with the string, then it pops up the alert. That's how we have built it, sir.
Sir, and moreover, if the machine learning model is being used, then the app needs an internet connection always active with it, and hence it cannot function as an offline app, sir. And for those features, we have removed ML model and just integrated with the Flutter packages.
So, can we keep the application active in the background?
Yeah. As soon as the mobile starts, it also starts working in the background.
Okay, so it keeps listening to the.
Yeah, it keeps listening. So it doesn't need to be open always. Even though the app is, even though we close the app, once it hears the word, it opens up. That's the main feature that we have trying out a lot.
It just pops up the alert outside.
Yeah, so you specified that it would listen throughout while the phone is switched on, right?
Yeah, whenever the phone is switched on, it will be recording. It will be just monitoring the noises around it.
Okay, great. Yeah, one more doubt is, does it has the capability to recognize common background sounds other than the words, like giving them an experience of what we hear?
Yeah, actually, relating to real life scenario, like I've seen old people around in my home sites, like they'll be like they can hear sounds, but they cannot hear some big, like they cannot hear the big sounds, like something. Like there have been a problem with my grandmother, and that's what related us to bringing out this idea that has helped us a lot in developing this. And whenever that bigger sounds are happening around, when they cannot hear it, they cannot for example, if someone is crossing the road and a big horn sound is honking outside, but they cannot hear that. That will make a very big problem for them. So that's when the horn is here, that's a very high frequency sound. And when that is noted by the application, it gives out the alert. By knowing the alert, the app starts to vibrate until the alert is seen. So as soon as it vibrates, the user can see the vibration and he can know it's a high frequency sound. And as soon as he hears the vibration, or as soon as he feels the vibration, he can just look around and see what's wrong, and he can just see to the things.
He can be more aware of it.
He can be more aware of it and give attention he needs to give.
Okay, so it recognizes high frequency sounds, right?
Yes, high frequency.
Does it recognize other sounds like birds chirping or something like that?
Yeah, no. Only the sounds which are of high frequency will be notified.
Which are harmful to the user.
Which are harmful to the user. That need attention of the user.
Okay. Zero sounds, right?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Team Broskies. Next, we can have a short break of 10 minutes, so everyone be back by 2:30. Thank you. Okay, so let's continue with the presentation. Next, I call upon Team Monster Killer for the presentation. Monster Killer.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
So, welcome all. We as a team would like to introduce a system which improves the surround awareness of the deaf. So, actually, when the problem statement was given, it was actually not particularly like saying like how the alert system should be implemented. It just says that a background voice should be identified. So initially we thought of bringing out a system like a voice recognition system, but we thought that for a deaf person, it's not about just recognizing the voice from the behind. It's about making that person aware that there is something threatful or there is something hazardous to that person. So when he is getting notified about it, he or she can take adequate actions. So that was our prime goal when it comes to doing this project. So first thing that we thought of handling was helping out people with profound deafness to be aware of their surroundings. So when it comes to understanding the surroundings, it was all about situational awareness. So situational awareness is actually like if there is something threatful or if there is something hazardous that is taking place behind a person, he or she must be notified about it. Because when we did a literature review about the accidents or the deaths caused due to lack of situational awareness, we could understand that most of the deaf person, like around 20 to 35% of deaf persons having profound deafness was found to be died due to lack of situational awareness. And all this happened because there was nothing that was there to alert them. So the first thing that came into our mind was how can we help them out to understand if there is something threatful or not. So for that, we created a hardware system that could actually localize the sound. So localizing the sound actually means understanding that there is a sound that is threatful and understanding the direction from which the sound is coming. So understanding the direction is more like giving that person less reaction time to react upon that situation. So that was our prime goal, and for achieving that with current limitations, we created a system using Arduino, wherein we implemented 4 analog microphones that identified the sounds from each directions. And when it comes to coding part of this project, we thought that would be very easy, but understanding that the direction of sound is a little bit hectic, because we did some literature reviews and we understood that to understand the direction of sound, we must understand the angle from which it is coming, or we have to understand from which direction the sound is coming. To understand that, we need to study the time delays for each microphones. And when it comes to coding part, it was very difficult for us to implement it through Arduino using time delay. And for the past 16 hours, we were thinking what we could do with this. And at last, say around 4 o'clock in the morning, we could come up with a solution that understand the amplitude, max amplitude of the system, the microphone, and converting it into a voltage system and differentiating each microphone's voltage. And we could come up with something astounding for us, because we were trying so hard for it, and we could differentiate the sound from each sides. And with such a low setup budget and money, like with around 440 rupees for each microphones, we could localize each sounds coming from each direction. And when we when we studied about this, most of the cases were like they were doing with too much mathematical calculations involving time, directions, angle, and considering all these factors. So with such a low budget concept, we could create something which is magnificent, of that high magnitude, and we could create something like that. And there was the alert system and direction finding system that we did using Arduino. And when it comes to speech recognition, we just used Google APIs, which is available for everyone. And with Python, we integrated. And to convert the whole system into the Python environment, what we did is we integrated the Arduino system itself within Python. And that was also done using the PyFreemata structure and all those concepts. And we could end up creating a prototype which can be implemented and which can be implemented at a low cost for people with profound deafness. And briefing about the project, we used Python. Also, we used Google Speech Recognition API for understanding the speech. And once we understand the speech is, once the speech is recognized, what we do is we find the direction of the sound. That was the most important and crucial part of our project, and we did it to the best level as we could. And for our further implementation, what we're trying is, since this is a big system, we want to shorten it into something that is very conveniable and very useful to people having profound deafness. So they are more into that sensory forms. So to create something that is sensory, like whatever alerts are there, for example, if some kind of a bus or some kind of vehicles are passing through around this person, it can be identified using machine learning. And using teachable machines, we created a machine learning structure, and we are trying to implement into our system as of now. And any sounds can be taught and its accuracy can be improved using machine learning and deep learning techniques. And here we are trying to implement it using transfer techniques, wherein the base neural system of the machine learning is added to trainable nodes, and this is just attached to the entire base neural system. And we could do it in further updates. So that is about the briefing. This is just a fritzing diagram of the Arduino. Here just 2 microphones are used. We are using 4 microphones and we are identifying the directions from left, right, back, and right. So it's like 360-degree total time, 24-hour alert system for a deaf person. It's like getting back his or her own hearing capability. And one fact is that we are not just we don't need any kind of pressing the button to just receive any voices. It's like 24-hour monitoring you. See, like voice recognition is something like when we click a button, it's trying to recognize your voice, like it's waiting for your command. Our system is like 24-hour alert. Whenever you are going, you just need to carry it with yourself. That we will try and produce a prototype and a product kind of a form, and you can use it conveniently. And this system can be used very efficiently if we we can do it much better in the future. And these are our future improvements, and this is what we are trying to implement in the future. So on developing this prototype, we could ideate a formulate the system into some forms of comfortable and easy to use kind of a system. That is what we are trying to do in the future. And when it comes to convenience, like most of the people are using wireless earbuds. We are trying to think about something like future, like the high-tech belts, like they can use around their waist. These are some kind of ideations and brainstorming we have done as a team. And this is our team members. And I'm handing over to the judging panel. If you can ask any questions and to us.
So, do you have a working prototype with you?
Yes, sir. We have created a prototype. Sir, this is our GitHub repository. Here, I'm handing over to Benson. He will explain about the code.
So actually, so what we are how we are finding the direction is that so we have 4 sensors, and each sensor is producing an analog input here. So when there's an analog input, we are finding the maximum peak and the minimum peak, and from that difference we are getting a difference peak A and peak B from each sensors, and with that peak difference, we are converting this peak into a voltage. So we have voltage of each sensors now, and now what we have to do is just compare the voltage of each sensors. So the sensor with the most voltage is having the direction of the sound. So once we identify from where the sound is coming, we have just need to call the sound recognition. So here we are just calling Google API, and it can just recognize what kind of background noise it's been happening.
So I will show a live demonstration of our project. You could bear with us. Okay. So here we have 4 microphones. As of this project, we have created 4 separated microphone arrays, and just to capture the sound from each arrays, we have created this kind of a phone system.
Sorry, your screen is not visible.
You are not able to see the demo.
Ma'am, is it visible right now?
No.
Thanks. And is the video visible?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, it's
Hello, ma'am.
visible.
Are we visible?
Yes.
Hello. Are we visible, ma'am?
Yes, it's visible.
Ma'am, here we have a profile, and to the separate microphone arrays, they have used a phone-like system. And here we can localize each sound from each directions from any distance, and we have a threshold for the distance. As of now, I will show the voice from this direction. So I'll just make some voice that is identified by the speech recognition. Okay. Hello, Shwil. Okay. See, our microphone system have identified it from this direction.
From right.
From right side, and I hope you can see. The code. And from this side, we will identify. Hello, Ashwin. And we could see it from the bottom, and we could differentiate the sound. Okay. Hello. So, ma'am, this is our microphone setup, and this is how we recognize each sound. If it was a live session, we could explain it much more. I know it's too much constraints and all these. I don't know how much you can perceive about these things. And this is about our project, ma'am.
Mobile phone to work. Does it need a mobile phone to work, or is it a standalone thing? Is it a
Ma'am, actually, this is as a standalone thing. We can convert it into our wireless system, wherein the microphone signal can be into some Wi-Fi modules, and we can develop it easily. The first concern was to identify the direction of the sound. It is almost done, and converting it into something that is convenient, easier for us, and we hope that we can do it.
Can you just show the demo how the direction is found out, direction of the sound? Can you slowly show that? Top, bottom, left, right, everything.
Do you want the code or the demo? Live demo.
Now, do you want to understand?
Demo, not code, demo. Previously, we were unable to see the screen, the computer screen.
Hello. Hello, ma'am. You can see sound direction. It says from right. We have learned it through understanding the amplitude, peak amplitude difference, and we'll show you from next slide.
From bottom.
See, ma'am, we also understood that the sound comes from bottom. We have said that the four microphones to front, back, bottom, left, and right, and that's why the outputs are coming as such. And this is our live demonstration. Ma'am, is it?
So, like, what if you are in a crowded environment? So, what if you are in a crowd area, like where sounds are coming from different directions?
Exactly. So, when we are at a area, that is where the product stands at. We are using machine learning and deep learning techniques. Deep learning techniques, we can improve the accuracy of the systems by teaching systems on how to identify and study and implement as such. So when it comes to a crowded area, once you know that you are in a crowded area, there is no meaning that because we know that there will be too much disturbance from the back. So when we are going along, it will filter out the background area and it will understand different sounds that are hazardous. Like we will calculate the decibel count and we will understand these sounds are hazardous and it requires the attention of the person who's having profound deafness. All these developments can be done in the future. And also, when it comes to understanding specific speeches, we are using speech recognition. So when the person's name is called out, that specific speech will be understood, and if his name is there in it, it will be notified to the user as such. And also with the direction from which the sound is being called. So he can have lesser reaction time. He can take quick decisions on how to react.
Okay, so you mentioned machine learning, right? So is that a custom model or an existing model which you are using?
No, thank you for asking such a question. So when we did a literature review, there is no such system that provides a alert system for the deaf. We have searched through IEEE Explore. We have done Science Direct searches. All these literature reviews we have gone through, but there is no present system that identifies the sound direction and also with machine learning, there is nothing with machine learning that helps in the field of deafness because it identifies sound, but it is not into the field of understanding deafness or into that field. So that is where we had, we can do something, especially in this field with integrating deep learning techniques and transfer techniques into the system.
Okay, so for that, like from where did you get the training data? So how did you get the data set for training the models?
Okay, so actually what we do is with using PyTorch techniques and machine trainable tables. We could use different hazardous sounds like truck sound, horn sounds. We could use whatever sounds that we want to teach to the system using PyTorch environment and Python, we could teach and train the system, the machine, and on each training, the accuracy of the system improves very well and good, sir. So it's the data is actually whatever sounds you want to train, you can train the system.
So what is the current confidence value of your model?
Sir,
So what is the confidence value at the moment?
Confidence of our team on doing the project further?
Yes, the model.
Okay, model. Sir, we are too confident about our product because one of the most important problem was identifying the direction of the sound, because direction of the sound is very important. Just standing alone and understanding that some sound is there from the behind, it's not that accurate. Understanding the sound comes from left or comes from right gives a reaction time to the person. So this makes the project different, entirely different. And integrating, additional new and technologies like ML, we could enhance the quality of the project also. And with such a technique, we can also like meet up or we can produce our projects to like people who can fund us. And we are thinking about it in the future, sir. So this is our.
Okay, so like the project, like you have done something. Okay, just to understand, what if a sound is coming from in between the top and the bottom of the microphone arrangement we have?
Okay, so that is a very good question, sir. So when we are coding this system, we were also thinking about what happens when the sound comes from like in the median region. So when the sound comes from the median region, say if I am standing here, and if the sound comes from the median region, both like if I'm using a vibration system to alert the person, both vibrations come to the person, or some alert comes to the person in the form that there is something right behind you. Like when something is right behind you, you can just turn back. But when it is on to incline towards left or right, you can understand it's towards left and towards right. So here what happens is we haven't specifically done something when it happens in the middle. It's about understanding, localizing the amplitude difference and angles with which the sound comes from, and we have differentiated into it and we have done. So understanding that something comes from the middle, like it's just adding the code into it, sir. There's nothing special to be done into it. It's nothing complicated, sir.
Yeah, so what I understand it, currently you have done a direction finder for this sound, right?
Yes,
general sound, where the most loudness comes from, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you are planning to integrate speech recognition into it, right?
Sorry, sir.
Have you already integrated speech recognition, or are you planning to integrate?
Sir, we have integrated speech recognition, sir.
You have
integrated with Google API. Use 3 lines of code implement speech recognition. So already done it. We can get the source code to you. Proof it up, sir. You can just verify it.
Okay, so my doubt is the direction is found out using the general sound. The environmental sounds would also be impacted, right?
No, sir. So, now we can do that, but using ML, we can specifically give out audio clips into the dataset and train it, and only the microphone array identifies it if the sound is from the dataset or itself. So as of now, it understands, we have given a threshold actually. Not all the background sounds or rain sounds, all these things are not identified. We have given a threshold. If there is some sound that overcomes the particular threshold, then that sound is identified and given as an output in the system, sir.
Yeah, so my doubt was you will be giving the sound recognized by your speech recognizer to the
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, sir. Yes, thank you for that. So, sir, in our system, what happens is where if a name is there, for example, if the deaf person's name is Aditya, or say Gogul, or say Ashwin, if that name is identified by the system, and then what our system does is it identifies the name, and if the name is there, it also indicates that your name is called and the direction from which the sound comes from is right. This happens with speech recognition, but 24/7, this whole sound direction system is working all through. It's not about just speech recognition, because many hazardous sounds can come behind, like vehicles, horns, any kind of hazardous or threat sounds that requires the attention of the person.
it is being absorbed 24/7 with this system. Sound direction is is sensed every time. If the speech that contains his or her specific name is identified, it is also like additionally indicated that your name is called from the behind. That is our system, sir. Anything further, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Sir, thank you very much for providing such a platform to express our ideas and this. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Team Monster Killer. Next, I call upon Team Cypher for the presentation. Is Team Cypher here in this meet?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Is this Team Max?
Yeah.
Okay. You can start your presentation.
Okay, let me present now. Is that screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. We are Team Maps and the team members are Manu TM, Anand Ramesh, myself Vaishnavi, and Suraj Fayed.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Can you please wait for 5 minutes?
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Okay, so we have with us Mr. Anthony T. Jose, Assistant Professor of Price Colleges Engineering, Erianakola. So, team mates, you can continue with your presentation.
Okay, ma'am. So here our project name Curate and done by our team Maths, and our team members are myself Vaishnavi and Manu team, Anand Ramesh and Suraj KS. So we are given our project name as Curate. It's because just like working as a hearing aid. So let's go through the modules. So the problem of deaf peoples are not complex as compared to the blind peoples and other differently able peoples. So here we are introducing a set of solutions combined to solve the disabilities of deaf peoples through an application or external device. So here we introduce an application right now, and we are ready to introduce that application to all of you. Going to the introduction part, and about 5% of the world's population, that's around 430 million, are affected by some hearing disabilities. The value is estimated to become 2.5 billion. So we are introducing some initial methods of solution for the existing generation. So we introduced around 5 modules that helps the deaf peoples to communicate with the surroundings. So going to the first module, that is our introduce voice message to text. So we know we are all using social medias like Facebook, WhatsApp, etc. in the now existing situations. So all are communicating with the WhatsApp as a normal communication medium. So all of are easily translating or communicate with the medium as voice messages or audio notes, etc. So the deaf peoples cannot hear the audios at that time. So we here introduced a voice to message text conversion. That is this module. The voice message is converted into the direct text that can be visible to the deaf people. And we'll introduce explain that more in the demo section, and going to the next section we introduce a real-time speech to text recognition system. That is when we are deaf people going through a crew or just in public, they can communicate with someone by this technique. That is when someone speaking, here introduced a section that tap and speak. And the real-time through the and here we introduced a donation system possible through that text messages donation system. And that is most of the deaf people have some financial issues or other some kind of problems in their daily life. So know that all cannot buy hearing equipments or hair transplantation operations, etc. So here we that already web application, that is the donation system is implemented so that the other person can donate fund to the organization, and this can be introduced in a donation system that is for surgeries and other medical purposes. And going to the next section, as an ad, we are introducing an e-commerce site accompanied with this. That is, by using the e-commerce site, we can enter to the site and we can buy products like hearing aid and other equipments that related to the deaf peoples. These are the modules. And going to the future scope, in the future, the application can be extended to external devices such as wristband or ordinary devices. And this system can be extended to accept different languages as per the user's choice. That is, multi-language persons can also communicate with this system. And going to the conclusion part, by this application, we are giving a normal life to the people who are suffering hearing disabilities by introducing the different modules mentioned above. So, can I go to the demo section?
Please.
Okay, just a second. Is that my presenting screen is visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So I'm introducing our web application. It is just named as Curie, that plays in the center of the screen. So going to that, here is the first interface of that Curie web application. So it's the first module actually, and I tell you that when an audio clip is given, and that is comes from WhatsApp or Facebook or etc., some other social medias or any other audio clips, that can be converted into text format. So here we always use a wave format of audio. So here a conversion module also introduces, that is any type of audio is converted into wave file. Then after also the file is converted into the text file. So I will show a demo. For that, I will select the to WAV section to select an audio clip. This is the converter section. So I'm clicking open to select an audio file. I'm just pre-recorded just an audio of a few seconds to work with this, and this audio can be converted converted into the text format. So first we will convert the audio file into the Word format. So the file is selected. So I'm converting the audio file. So I'm pressing convert and save. The file is downloaded, and I'm switching back to the previous window. So coming back to the previous window, I'm just uploading the file by clicking upload file. So that can be comes under downloads. So the file is selected. So when I'm pressing the predict button, the audio in that audio file is directly converted into a text file. I'm pressing the predict button right now. Hello, this audio is for texting. Actually, I am pre-recorded audio. So that's showing what I'm telling the audio. That is, hello, this is an audio, is for texting. Okay, I'm going to the next section, that pressing the next. Here is the real-time communication system. That is, when I tap here, when a person met, after tapping, I can speak. Hello. Oh, okay. Sorry for that. Actually, my phone is connected to the Meet right now, so the speak will not work. Actually, I will. Can I stop presenting and switch on the another camera? Wait 1 second. Next.
Yes.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Ma'am, actually this is our second module. This is a module. Ma'am, is this visible?
No, it's not clear.
One second, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, I will explain this module. Ma'am, module that is a real-time conversation between a deaf people or some others. While tapping this tap button, we can convey the message to from the deaf, and the corresponding text message will convert it. The corresponding audio message will convert it to the text file in the real time. That is the second module of this app. Ma'am, just a second. We will rejoin with the mobile. One second, ma'am. Ma'am, this is our third module of the application. While tapping the start button, it is working actually in the background. It's actually running in the background. That is to recognize the surrounding sounds like car horns, ambulance sirens, or somebody calling with us. We have learned so many models to it and well trained it. While somebody is calling back, calling from us, the system will vibrate. Actually, just one second. Hello. Now the system is vibrating. That is why some other people called me as hello. So the system is vibrated, and when the system will also vibrate when some car horns or other vehicles are behind us. So we can easily recognize the surroundings. Our next module. One second, ma'am.
I will rejoin with the link. Ma'am, is that screen is visible?
Yes, it is visible.
One second, ma'am.
So this is the output of that. It's a real-time recording is running right now. Actually, when I'm calling hello, 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 hi.
Now the system is vibrating because the calling, somebody is calling from behind. So the value of the calling has increased and it is detected, and the system is just vibrated. So we can understand somebody is called from behind.
This is another module I have already tell about this. That is a donate. That is when donating some money to the deaf peoples. After filling this, we can donate some money. Sometimes I'm filling this your details. I'm just clicking the proceed to payment section. Then here the as usual of the payment section is visible. That is credit card or debit card or section. From that, by giving the credit card card number and expiry date and CVV, we can make payment to the deaf people's accounts that can be used to any of the deaf people's to buy the hearing aids or etc. like operation purpose etc. used. So going to the another section, I'm just switching back to the window. These are a request form actually. That is, deaf people can request for money or a hearing aid etc. Using this number, and they can give their information to get the other details etc. And this here at the down portion we can see an ad just like up to 90% off on hearing equipment. Shop now. I'm just clicking to shop now. This is the e-commerce site that we made for this. These are the products like hearing aids, and different type of hearing aids are introduced here. So it is all about our modules, and thank you, Miss.
Okay, so for converting audio file to text, you are using Google APIs, right?
Sir, we are actually converting text using JavaScript module, sir. Hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello, sir.
So can you just tell me like which third-party libraries you are using for converting audio to text and text to audio?
Sir, I didn't get you, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, can you explain the third-party libraries you are using for converting audio to text and text to audio?
So actually we have done with JavaScript and front-end with HTML. We can easily take the audios from the HTML and convert it using speech from HTML, and using JavaScript we can easily convert it to text.
Okay, so like while going through your code, we can see you are using Google APIs for conversion and TensorFlow.js for text to audio.
Yes, sir. Actually, it is useful for converting the audio files that from social media. We can easily. It is basically working based on server system that we can accept the file from the user, and in backend we have user Flask, and using Python that file is converted to the text.
The question is, are you converting the file by yourself or by using your own code, or are you using Google APIs and TensorFlow.js for converting audio to text?
Using APIs, sir.
APIs. Okay. So you have any of your own models or algorithms?
Yes, sir. Actually, we have used working with this teachable model as an API. In teachable machine, we can easily train our model and can easily label the corresponding class, and we can extract that model and can use that model to classify our audios or image, etc. In our project, we have. Excuse me, sir.
The teachable model, are you using Google ML Teachable or a custom model developed by yourself?
It's a teachable model, sir. Actually, it is a platform provided by the Google itself. That is a teachable. I already mentioned it's a teachable model. We can train different audio models to it, and we can extract that model, and we can accept it as a JavaScript code. And that JavaScript code can be used for our training classes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Team Mavs. Is Team Cypher present in this meet?
Thank you, ma'am.
Team Cypher? Okay, so next I call upon Team Renegades for the presentation.
Sir, is it audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So, hi, sir. And I am the team leader of the team Renegades. And also, first, I have to thank everyone for giving us an opportunity to perform our product in this hackathon. So, today we have built the software solutions for two main problems for the specially able people. So, the main one of the problem is that we have built a software to help children having ADHD problems. So, what we have done is that we have developed a game. Its name is Fight Master. So, wait, ma'am, let me present the presentation. Okay, so this is a software solution we have made, and it is a game named Fight Master. It is a virtual mixed martial arts game we have built. So our aim is to develop a mixed martial arts game for helping children facing ADHD. So these are our team members: myself, Adityan, then Geedu, Shivapornami, Jose, and Hafiz, and we are coming from Muthoot Institute of Technology and Science. So the idea of this a game like this is that it is found that children who has ADHD has very less attention. So practicing a very entertaining and effective method could actually help increase their attention span. So, for example, a game. We know that children are really interested in games, right? So practicing martial arts offline martial arts is really effective for them, but for making it as easy, we have built a game, virtual martial arts game or a fighting game. So when children are interested and when they develop interest in these martial arts games, increases their attention span. So it is also being proved by scholars and scientists that it is such an effective method. So that is why we have chosen this topic. So the proposed solution is that a mixed martial arts game can be used to treat the ADHD patients. So many of them has proposed, many scientists have also proposed the use of a virtual reality martial arts game. So for developing this, the main features we have included is that okay. For presenting this, we have included the modeling of this, which comes with the three definitions. One is for moveset. The moveset means the basic movements that is used in the game, like this uppercut, elbow strike, knee strike, roundhouse kick, etc. So these are the different types of movements, as we all know, in a fighting game we provide. And for this, and also we have developed another area of this game is that the mesh, that is the area, the positioning of everything. So the software we use is at the Unity 3D. In Unity 3D, we build the total game engine and also the scripting. And we know the scripting is similar to C#, so we made the code in C# and then we presented this in Unity 3D. And also for the 3D modeling, we use Blender, and for the sound processing, we use Audacity, and also head-mounted display, like a normal monitor or something like that. So using these, we made the game. But there was a problem when we made that in Unity, the software got into lag and we also lost most of our code. And the problem is that we couldn't complete the code really well. So it was not being able to run perfectly. So our second idea which we made is called Handy Talk. It is an efficient gesture interpreter for specially able people. The problem statement is that we developed a software solution for specially able mute people to communicate. So the idea or approach details we use is that it is very difficult for specially able people to communicate properly because the person sitting on the opposite or the other person it is not sure that they must know the sign language amongst common people. So this gesture interpreter aims at encountering this problem and also finding the feasible solution. So how we did is that the sign language of different able the gesture recognition basically means there are a lot of sign languages which are used by these differently able people. So this gesture recognition takes the sign language, that is, it takes through a camera detector, and then it takes the concepts of this camera detector and also it converts it into a digital code. So in the model for this, we have used basic neural networks like CNNs, SVMs, and also for object path tracking, etc. And the main thing we use is a camera detector. So the features are detected by the camera. So, what basically happens is that cameras capture these gestures. They store it in this database, and so when the gesture is shown in front of the camera could directly find which gesture, what does that gesture means, and they could easily find what is required. So there are two ways to actually do this. One is using gloves, having a flex sensor in it. So a simple movements could be tracked by the flex sensor, and the flex sensor, flex sensor just converts into a digital code. But what we are doing is a more simple way, because just by use of camera could capture what the sign language is. So this is actually how it works. That already previously we already store how each gestures work in the program, and during the time of testing, we just show the gestures in front of the camera and it easily tracks it. So the technology we use here is Java, Python, and JavaScript, and the Python IDE which we use is a Jupyter notebook. So this is how the vision-based sign language recognition actually works. That is, a user when shows the gestures, first the data acquisition and pre-processing takes place, which detects and track the hand gestures, and these extracts the features. Then as the features are extracted, then there are also previously stored gesture classification, and then the required output is actually given, and it is converted into an audio format, and so easily the opposite person could understand. So this is how we made the both presentations, both software solutions, and so this is our idea, sir. So, but sir, actually, I earlier told Ariel, right, there was a problem during the time, and also since it was online, there was a lot of problems when we transferred the code and something, and also the time got over. That's why we couldn't complete it fully. But these are the software ideas we made.
Hi guys, can you share the code on your screen? Do you have a code?
So this was actually our Jupyter source file which we made, but we actually did it in my friend's laptop and he's not here. So wait a minute, the games software I'm showing this right. So these are the C# source files which we made using C#. We have also updated this in GitHub.
So this is for the first problem statement or the second one?
This is of the game.
Game, the martial arts related, right?
Can you justify how martial arts game can help attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, a person having ADHD? How will ADHD help it?
When does it reduce it? Practicing the martial arts becomes really entertaining for children, right? Because children they mainly focus on winning, so they deeply focus because it's actually really entertaining, and also it makes children more focused into it. So it actually increases the attention span.
I think you need to do a bit more research on ADHD. Actually, playing games in system, it will aggravate this issue actually. The child is not playing outside, right? He's sitting in front of computer and playing the game, right? Actually, it will aggravate the situation. You should do a bit more research on that.
Actually, we need to involve the children more into the actual martial arts, but this is just a miniature model where children could actually use the same in the mixed virtual reality game, and that's what we have done.
Thank you, Team Renegades. Next, I call upon Team UEC for the presentation.
Hi, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, let me start presentation. Make it yellow. So good afternoon all. We are team UEC. So let us start our presentation with your blessings and guidance. So we are, as I mentioned before, we are team UEC and I am Akhil Kumar and my team members are Jaifer, Prayagdev and Vishnu Murli. Now our application is ISA, AI-enabled system for specially abled. In ISA, we have developed certain features for the specially able, which come in under the problem segments. Develop an affordable solution for mute people with limited muscle movements to communicate with others, and develop a solution to make deaf people aware of their surroundings. For instance, if someone calls their name in the background or someone other sounds which requires their attention, and it should notify the user. So what is ISA? So ISA is as I mentioned, as a AI-based application which makes the communication simple
for the especially ables one. So these are our features: sign chat, in-app audio navigation, voice assign, audio navigation, learn signs, live tracking for companion, dashboard. So we are not wasting any time. We are just showing us our demonstration along with the explanation. So our team members Prayag Dev and Vishnu Murli will continue.
SignChat. SignChat is an AI-based chatting application that can be used by both deaf and dumb people. Here in SignChat, we provide three types of chatting types. One is by entering the text, and it is converted to sign language, and it can be also heard by the ordinary people just by tapping it. And coming to the next type of chatting base will come with inputting voice as models. That is, if an ordinary person wants to talk with an especially disabled person like a dumb person, he can use the voice button where his voice is translated to text, and later it is translated to the corresponding sign conventions, which is easily readable by the dumb people or by the people who have disabilities. And there is also another type of chatting space for the deaf and dumb people with other people by just showing their sign languages there, and it is then converted to the other text or the voice models. Let us demonstrate one of them. Yeah, this is the interface of our application ISA, and by clicking on the sign chat, we get an interface, and here that is in the bottom right we get a text option, and by typing the word hello and tapping on the hello, the word is heard, and by double tapping the sign language convention is also heard, also seen, visible. Then it will be easy for them to understand what ordinary people are saying them. And coming to the next feature, just by accepting the audio, if the people who are there to communicate has very little bit time, they can easily say the voice command, and it will be converted to text, and the later has happened as explained before. And coming to the next, hello. Here, and the later will be as of that text communication. And coming to the next thing is a sign chat sign inputting mechanism, where we input as a video, and it will be converted to the corresponding string, so that the other people can easily know what it is meant. I'm sorry for the delay. That's just bit due to the network problems. There's a small delay. Yeah, it's a signal for the thanks, and it is depicted there. Hence, the ordinary people can understand what they are saying, what they're conveying to. And coming to the next feature, it's an audio navigation. Here, the surrounding voice is captured by our application, and later it is classified to the corresponding classes, whether it is a barking sound, whether it's a gunshot, or it's a siren, or it's a horn. All type of sounds are classified. Hence it provides our users that
whether there's any insecurity or there's any accident or there's any type of problems happening around their surroundings. For that, we use audio navigation. By tapping on the audio navigation, we get to the home page, and by tapping on the mic button, almost some inputs are being background noise that be, because I am talking here, so some background noise is there. By giving some input, we get just for demo, it's marked as a siren, and this type of classification of sounds is being happening there. And moreover, it is an on-edge model. So it don't needed any internet connection, so that it is embedded in the system itself. And coming to the next feature is Learn. It is a feature where the people can learn sign languages. The both specially abled or the ordinary people can learn sign languages or sign practitioners, which sign depicts what and what all. And moreover, there's also a small video graphics by clicking on any of them. It's shown here. Yeah, right. And coming to our fourth feature is a voice assign. Most of the especially able people who can talk or who is speechless can produce some particular kinds of sounds which depicts some common words or common deeds or common things. So here in voice assign, we have trained some of the voice that is corresponding to just like I am hungry or I want to go to washroom, or just like that. The basic things has been coined here, so that when the corresponding or the respective sound is created, then the needed thing is outputted. There's an example.
I want food.
Yeah. These all things are we have been recorded. We have been pre-trained so that the corresponding thing is being displayed, or the ordinary people can easily get to know that whether what is his need or what he had to be done. And coming to the live tracking, it's a new mechanism where the companion of the specially abled person can easily track them when they go outdoors. We have heard that many specially abled people have gone missing after they have been out from the house, or they just gone for a walk, or just they were in a public place where just a bit crowded. So to avoid these kinds of things, there's a live tracking. When we enable live tracking, there's a URL is copied in the clipboard, and this URL is later pasted or later sent via Gmail or WhatsApp, then the WhatsApp of the companion. Then it will be easy for him to navigate where is he, or what is going about for him. And there's a demo that here is our home area, and we are there, and the copied link is being pasted here, and the map shows we are here there for them. It helps in more tracking the person without any fail. And there's an audio navigation button in the center, which help to navigate through the application for much ease, because finding and typing is sometimes it become lazy for us. So there's an audio navigation, and moreover there is also an admin dashboard that was created for the purpose of push notification or user analytics. Let me give you an example of the admin notification. Yeah, this is the admin dashboard, and we can see that the number of user distributions and the cumulative users per month, and sign language conversion, sign conversion that's happening per day. And here we can also enable push notification for mentioning any updates or any other things that's been going on here to the users' phones.
So that's all about our project.
And technology used include we use Flutter, which for mobile application building, and HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and Chart.js for admin dashboard, and TensorFlow and TensorFlow Lite for deploying machine learning models and deep learning models too. And Python Flask for TensorFlow and TensorFlow Lite for building the models, and Python Flask is used for deploying. And we also use Node.js as our backend, and PHP and MariaDB, and that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, can you just explain why are we using multiple tech stack for different backend services? We have Python, Flask, Node.js, PHP. Why can't we combine all together?
So we have tried using Node.js in the we have tried using the TensorFlow in the Node.js, but I think the TensorFlow plugins or something was out of date, and we cannot use due to TensorFlow is becoming updated really near time, and the package for deploying TensorFlow models on the Node.js was a bit, I think, outdated or something, so it was not working. Hence, we use Flask for deploying TensorFlow models.
Yeah, and PHP?
Yeah, PHP is used for MariaDB supports use PHP, I think. Yeah, MySQL database use MariaDB and support using PHP.
So when you are using the chatbot, when you're sending a message, let's say hello, it returns an image, right? What if I use any other words like hi, hello, maybe
Currently, we have added some predefined commands only. That's it. So, as due to the time limit constraints, we are just added a predefined commands like hello, hi. That's it, something like that. And like voice navigation commands like open, learn. That's it.
So is that working with the trained model? Maybe you're using TensorFlow or just a hard-coded thing?
And presently, we are using hard-coded models. Hard-coded. And for let's say for sign conversion, from sign to text conversion, we use LSTM model. We train the LSTM models for with our own dataset for predicting the sign to text conversions. We use MediaPipe for use extracting the, let's say, the key points or the skeleton from the human posts. We extract them and we train them using the LSTM, applying to the LSTM models, and we use the prediction. And for using that purpose, we use the Flask for deploying the TensorFlow model.
Thank you, Team UEC. Next, I call upon Team FinEC for the presentation.
Hi, so we are Team FinEC. We'll be starting the presentation. Yep, it's visible, right? Okay, cool. So, hey everyone, we are Team FinEC, and our teammates are, next slide. Yep, so these are our teammates, and we are from Model Engineering College. So, our mission is to make social media accessible for all. So, next slide. Yep, so the problem that we are solving, what is that we are trying to solve? So visually out from the vast world of social media, like there are over 2.2 billion visually impaired people across the world right now. And typically they use something like screen readers to interact with digital devices or websites. But however, the screen readers, the features they provide are quite limited, and visually impaired people are not able to fully utilize the features that a website provides. So, so what we made, so next slide. So we have developed Blind Guru, which is an app which opens up the world of social media for visually impaired people. So currently, Blind Guru enables voice control over Twitter to listen to feeds. So yeah, how to use it? Next slide. So how to use it? Currently, go to the live demo website of Blind Guru. You can log in with Twitter to authorize it. And you can use voice commands like previous and next to control and play the next tweets. And that's it. It's as straightforward as that. It's easy to use. So next slide. So we believe that social media should be something that is inclusive to all. And we are thus creating this software that is going to help visually impaired people to use social app with the entirety of features with no compromise. So the project is still in the demo app. So now we will see a live demo of
Is the screen visible now?
Yeah, the screen is visible.
Okay. So here's the overview of our product Blind Guru. First of all, you have to log in with Twitter. You have to authorize. So after logging in, you will be redirected to our dashboard. Next.
Heal yourself first, the rest will come later.
Previous.
A man is great not because he hasn't failed, a man is great because failure hasn't stopped him.
Previous.
Confucius. I'm 26 and she is also 26. Kya karna chahi tears of
Create. Delete. These are the commands we are currently working on.
So that was the demo of the project that we built. So back to the presentation. So yeah, as I mentioned before, we currently support Twitter and have added features for voice controls for it. So talking about the tech stack, we are using Next.js as a front-end framework, and we're using Twitter API for authorization and getting the tweets and stuff. We're also using packages for voice recognition and text-to-speech as well. Okay, next slide. So the live demo is available. The link has been given, and the GitHub repository has also been shared. So talking about the future scope, we believe that this is useful not only for visually impaired people, but also for other people. Like we can use Twitter or other social media platforms in a hands-free mode, like in a podcast or something. So that will be useful not only for these people that we mentioned before, but for everyone. Also talking more about the future scope, we plan to expand this to support a multitude of platforms like Telegram, like WhatsApp. That was our initial aim. But WhatsApp has make a change in the lives of thousands, if not millions of people. So yeah, that was Blind Guru for you from Team Finicity. Thank you so much.
You are not audible like this. You are not audible, I guess.
The judges are checking your refusal. The Q&A session will be soon.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you, Team Sinisi. Next, I call upon Team Mind Hacks for the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Voice clear ആണോ? Hello?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Good afternoon. This is Team Mind Hack. Visible on screen, visible.
Yes.
Hi, this is Team Mind Hacks. I am Joel Raphael. Along me, I have 3 members, Joe Paul, Nigel, and Nihal. ഞങ്ങളുടെ മോട്ടോ എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഡിസേബിൾ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ഇപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരായിട്ട് ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് ഇരിക്കുന്നത്, അതർ പീപ്പിൾ ആയിട്ട്. ടു കൺവേർട്ട് ദം ഇൻടു ഇൻഡിപെൻഡന്റ് ആയിട്ട് ആക്കാനാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കൺവേർട്ട് ചെയ്യുക എന്നതാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്ന മോട്ടോ. ഇത് ഞങ്ങൾ മെയിനായിട്ട് ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് 3 ഫാക്ടേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ട്. ഒന്ന് ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ് ഉണ്ട്, സെക്കൻഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ക്രിയേഷൻ, തേർഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ. കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ദേ ആർ നോട്ട്, ഇപ്പോ അവർക്ക് സാധാരണ ആൾക്കാർ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന പോലെ എൻവയോൺമെന്റ് ആയിട്ടോ മറ്റു സൊസൈറ്റി ആയിട്ടോ ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. സോ ഹെൽപ്പിംഗ് തം ഇൻ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റിംഗ് വിത്ത് ദ സൊസൈറ്റി, അതാണ് ആദ്യത്തെ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ എന്ന ഫീച്ചർ നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. സെക്കൻഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ there are peoples, number of peoples, disabled ആയിട്ടുള്ള പീപ്പിൾസ് ഉണ്ട്. അവർക്ക് തമ്മിൽ ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യുക, കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുക, ഫ്രണ്ട്സ് ആവുക, അവരുടെ ലൈക്സും ഡിസ്ലൈക്സും ഷെയർ ചെയ്യുക, അതൊരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം. തേർഡ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ്. ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നവഡേസ് ഡിഫറെന്റ് കമ്പനീസ് ആൻഡ് ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട്സ് ആർ പോസ്റ്റിംഗ് ഡിസേബിൾഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ ജോബ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതേ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ ജോബ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റിയും ഞങ്ങളുടെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ കൂടി ഒന്ന് ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക, അത് അവർക്കുള്ള ജോബ് ഈ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ചെയ്യുക. ഇതാണ് ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ് കൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഞങ്ങൾ ഇത് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് 2 ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് ആണ്. വൺ നെയിംഡ് ഹാൻഡി, അത് യൂസേഴ്സിനാണ്, അതായത് ഡിസേബിൾഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയിൽ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും അത് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. അവർക്ക് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിയും ഇന്ററാക്ഷനും ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസിന് വേണ്ടി ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു സംഭവം. ദെൻ സെക്കൻഡ് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ഫോർ ഗാർഡിയൻസ് ആണ്. നമുക്ക് ലൈവ് ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷനിലേക്ക് ഓക്കെ. ഞങ്ങൾ വീഡിയോ സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്ത വീഡിയോയുടെ ഇത് തന്നെയാണ്. ഈ ഓതന്റിക്കേഷൻസ് കാണിക്കാൻ ഇത്തിരി ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ടാണ്. അത് ഒ ടി പി വരുന്നതിൽ റിയൽ ടൈം ആയിട്ട് വയ്ക്കുന്ന OTP ഉണ്ട്. OTP വാലിഡേഷൻ വെച്ചാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഓരോ യൂസേഴ്സിനെയും യുണീക്ക് ആയിട്ട് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യണേ. അപ്പൊ യൂസർ സൈനപ്പ് പേജ് ഞങ്ങൾ കാണിച്ചു തരാം. ഇനീഷ്യലി ആളോട് ഈ ഹാൻഡി ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് കയറുമ്പോൾ അയാളുടെ മൊബൈൽ നമ്പറും അതിന് OTP വെരിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് ഡൺ ചെയ്യാണ്. ഈ സൈനപ്പ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഇനീഷ്യലി അവർക്ക് OTP വരുന്നുണ്ട്. OTP സർവീസസ് എനേബിൾഡ് ആണ്. ഇനീഷ്യൽ സൈനപ്പ് പേജ് ആണെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് ലിറ്റിൽ ക്രെഡൻഷ്യൽസ് ഇൻപുട്ട് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് നെയിംസ്, ഗാർഡിയൻ നമ്പർ, ഡേറ്റ് ഓഫ് ബർത്ത്, അതിനെ കുറച്ച് ക്രെഡൻഷ്യൽസ് നമ്മൾ ഇൻപുട്ട് ചോദിക്കും. അല്ല, ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ഡിസബിലിറ്റീസ് ഞങ്ങൾ ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. മെയിൻലി ഞങ്ങൾ ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ബ്ലൈൻഡ്, ഡെഫ് ആൻഡ് മ്യൂട്ട് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡിസബിലിറ്റീസ് ഉള്ള ആൾക്കാരെ മോസ്റ്റ് കോമൺലി ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യുക. പിന്നെ അതർ കാറ്റഗറീസിലും ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതും ഞങ്ങൾ സൈനപ്പ് പേജിൽ നമ്മൾ സ്പെസിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ ഹാൻഡി ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ, അതായത് യൂസറിനുള്ള ഡിസേബിൾഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിക്ക് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ നമ്മൾ സൈനപ്പ് സെറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചു. ഇനി നമ്മൾ ഗാർഡിയന്റെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് സെറ്റപ്പ് ചെയ്യാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഇനീഷ്യലി സൈൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഗാർഡിയൻ നമ്പർ നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ആ ഗാർഡിയൻ വെച്ച് നമുക്ക് ഈ യൂസറായിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അതിനുള്ള ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ആണ് ഗാർഡിയൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ. ഇതിനകത്ത് നമുക്ക് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ വരും. ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു ഗാർഡിയന് ഒന്നി കൂടുതൽ യൂസേഴ്സ് ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പൊ അയാൾ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ആണ്. ഇപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ കൊടുത്തത് ജോയിലായിട്ടുള്ള ആള് നമ്മളോട് ഗാർഡിയൻ ആയിട്ട് ആവാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു ഒരു സംഭവമാണ്. അത് നമ്മള് അപ്പൊ ഈ ടിക്ക് ഓപ്ഷൻ വെച്ച് നമുക്ക് യൂസർക്ക് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാം. യൂസറായിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. നൗ അയാൾ കണക്റ്റഡ് ആയി, ഗാർഡിയൻ യൂസറായിട്ട് കണക്റ്റഡ് ആയി. നൗ മുകളിൽ വേറെ ഒരു ഇവന്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു കോളുണ്ട്. അതിനെ കുറിച്ച് പിന്നെ പറയാം. ലൈവ് ലൊക്കേഷൻ. ഇനി നമുക്ക് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഈ യൂസറിന്റെ ലൈവ് ലൊക്കേഷൻ നമുക്ക് ഗാർഡിയന് ഡയറക്റ്റ് കൊടുക്കാം. അതായത് എനി ടൈമിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും അത്യാവശ്യ ഘട്ടത്തിൽ ഇഫ് ഗാർഡിയൻ ഫൈൻസ് ടു ഗെറ്റ് ദ ലൊക്കേഷൻ ഓഫ് ദ യൂസർ, ഹി ക്യാൻ ഫൈൻഡ് ഇറ്റ്. അപ്പൊ ലൈവ് ഡൊമൈൻ ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മള് വീഡിയോ പ്രസന്റേഷൻ കോഴ്സ് ചെയ്യാണ്. മൊബൈലിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു ഡെമോ കാണിച്ചത്. ഇപ്പൊ ഇത് ഗാർഡിയന്റെ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ആണ്. നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ കണ്ടപോലെ തന്നെ ആളുടെ ജോയിലായിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു ഇതുണ്ട്. ലൈവ് ലൊക്കേഷൻ മുകളിൽ ഇവന്റ്സ് കാണിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ലൈവ് ലൊക്കേഷൻസ് റീഡയറക്ട് ചെയ്ത് ഗൂഗിൾ മാപ്പിലേക്ക് പോകും. ആ ഗൂഗിൾ മാപ്പിൽ ആ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഡിസേബിൾഡ് യൂസർ എവിടെയാണ് നിൽക്കുന്ന ആ പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ലൊക്കേഷൻ ഫെച്ച് ചെയ്ത് ഗൂഗിൾ മാപ്പിൽ കൊടുക്കും. വിച്ച് ആ പുള്ളിക്ക് അയാളെ ട്രാക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. അത് സെക്യൂർഡ് ആയിട്ട് സേഫ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള രീതിയിൽ. ഇതാണ് ഗാർഡിയൻ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ മെയിൻ ആണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു ആളെ ഡിസേബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ആളെ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യാൻ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അയാളെ ആവശ്യഘട്ടങ്ങളിൽ ഒന്ന് ലൊക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഗാർഡിയൻ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യണം. ഞാൻ നമ്മുടെ മെയിൻ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ഡിസേബിൾഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റീസ് നമ്മൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ ഇതാണ് നമ്മുടെ യൂസർ ഇന്റർഫേസ്. ഇതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് മെയിൻ ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞില്ലേ നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ ത്രീ ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. അതായത് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ, കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ആൻഡ് ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഇൻഡിപെൻഡൻസ്. കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു നോർമൽ യൂസേഴ്സ് എങ്ങനെയാണ് മറ്റുള്ള ഒരാളോട് ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, നോർമൽ പീപ്പിൾ എങ്ങനെ ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അതേപോലെ നമുക്ക് ഡിസേബിൾഡ് ആയിട്ട് ആൾക്കാർക്കും ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റണം. അത് നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് ഒന്ന് ലൈവ് സ്പീച്ച് റെക്കഗ്നിഷനും പിന്നെ ലിസണിങ്ങും. ഇതിനകത്ത് നമുക്കിപ്പോ ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ കാണിക്കാൻ സ്പീച്ച് ജനറേഷൻസ് കാണിച്ചു തരാം. ഇവിടെ കുറച്ച് ഷോർട്ട് കട്ട്സ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കാം ആൾക്കാർക്ക്. ഇപ്പൊ റെഗുലർലി ഇപ്പൊ മ്യൂട്ട് ആയിട്ട് ഒരാള് നമുക്ക് റെഗുലർലി യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന എന്തെങ്കിലും വേർഡ്സോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഷോർട്ട് കട്ട് വെച്ച് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ സേവ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കാം. അപ്പൊ ഈ ടാപ്പ് ഓൺ ഇറ്റ് സൗണ്ട് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. ഓക്കെ, ഇനി ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഇത് ഡിഫാൾട്ട് സെറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കുറച്ച് കാർഡ്സ് ആണ്. പിന്നെ നമുക്ക് സെറ്റ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ആഡ് ഓപ്ഷൻ കൊടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കീ കൊടുക്കുക, ഒരു ഷോർട്ട് കട്ട് ആഡ് ചെയ്യുക, അതിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ കൊടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആ കാർഡ് അവിടെ ആഡ് ആവും. അപ്പൊ അങ്ങനെ ആൾക്ക് തോന്നുന്ന, അതായത് ആൾറെഡി കുറെ ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് ആയിട്ട് അയാൾ റെഗുലർലി യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ടെക്സ്റ്റ് നമുക്ക് ആ ഒരു മ്യൂട്ട് ആയിട്ട് ഒരാൾക്ക് അവിടെ സേവ് ചെയ്ത് വെക്കാം. ദെൻ സ്പീച്ച് ജനറേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു സംഭവമുണ്ട്. അതിനകത്ത് ലൈവായിട്ട് ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സാധനങ്ങൾ സ്പീച്ച് ആയിട്ട് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കും. ഇനി ദെൻ ലിസണിങ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മ്യൂട്ട് ഡെഫ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരാൾക്ക് സറൗണ്ടിങ്സിൽ എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കുന്നു അത് അയാൾക്ക് ലിസൺ ചെയ്യുക, അത് ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുക എന്നുള്ള സാധനമാണ്. ദെൻ സൈൻ ലാംഗ്വേജ്, ഈ ഡെഫ് മ്യൂട്ട് ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ഈ ഓൾ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിക്കും കോമൺ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ സൈൻ ലാംഗ്വേജ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത്. അതൊരു ലേണിംഗ് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം നമ്മൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഒരു അക്കാഡമിക്സ് കൊടുക്കുക, അതിനകത്ത് ആവശ്യമുള്ള ക്രെഡൻഷ്യൽസ് സാധനങ്ങൾ കൊടുക്കുക, ആൽഫബറ്റ്സ്, നമ്പേഴ്സ് അങ്ങനെ റെഗുലർലി യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കാണിക്കുക. ഒപ്പം അസസ്മെന്റും ഇവാലുവേഷൻസും നടത്തുക, അതായത് പഠിച്ചത് ശരിയാണോ എന്നുള്ള ഒരു കോൺസെപ്റ്റില് വീഡിയോസ് ആണ്. ഓരോ ഇതും ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കാണിക്കും. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്കിപ്പ് അടിച്ച് എവറി ക്ലാസ്സസ് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യാം. ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഇവാലുവേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ചെയ്യാം. പക്ഷെ കറന്റ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇവാലുവേഷൻ കൊടുത്തിട്ടില്ല, ടൈംസിന്റെ ഇതിന് കൊണ്ട് ഇവാലുവേഷൻ കൊടുത്തിട്ടില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷന്റെ ഏകദേശം ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഏകദേശം കഴിഞ്ഞു. ദെൻ ഉള്ളത് ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ഡിറ്റക്ഷൻ ആണ്. ബ്ലൈൻഡ്നെസ് ഫൈൻഡിങ്, അതായത് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് ഫൈൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു സെർച്ച് ചെയ്ത് ഫൈൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു ഫീച്ചർ. പിന്നെ ഇതിന്റെ കൂടെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു വോയിസ് അസിസ്റ്റൻസ് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അലൻസ് വോയിസ് അസിസ്റ്റൻസ് ആണ് കൊടുത്തിരുന്നത്. അലൻ, വാട്ട്സ് ഇൻ ഫ്രണ്ട് ഓഫ് മീ? Alan, what's in front of me? What's in front of me? ലൈവ് ഷെയറിംഗ് ഇത്തിരി ലാഗ് ഉണ്ട് നെറ്റിന്റെ. അത് അങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞ് കമാൻഡ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി അത് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് ഡിറ്റക്ഷനിലേക്ക് എടുക്കും. ഒബ്ജക്ട്സ് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യും. സറൗണ്ടിങ്സിലുള്ള ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒബ്ജക്ട്സ് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്ത് ബ്ലൈൻഡ് ആയ ആൾക്കാർക്ക് വോയിസ് കമാൻഡ് വെച്ച് ആക്ച്വലി വർക്കിംഗ് ആണ്, റീഡയറക്ട് ചെയ്യാം ഈ പേജിലേക്ക്. ഒബ്ജക്ട് റെക്കഗ്നൈസ് ചെയ്ത് സ്പീച്ച് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അപ്പൊ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ആസ്പെക്ട് കാറ്റഗറി നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞു. കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ക്രിയേഷൻസ്, കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു, കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ക്രിയേഷൻ ആണ്. ഈ ഡിസേബിൾഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക, അതായത് സിമിലർ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഫേസ് ചെയ്യുക, ചാറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക, ഇവന്റ് ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്യുക, ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഇവന്റ്സ് ടു കണക്ട് വിത്ത് ദം, ഫിസിക്കൽ ഇന്ററാക്ഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടാകാൻ. അപ്പൊ ഇവന്റ് ഒരു ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ നമുക്ക് ഇവന്റ് ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. മെനു ബാറിൽ ഇവന്റ് ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, പ്ലേസ്, ഡേറ്റ്, ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻസ്, കോണ്ടാക്ട്സ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യാം. ഇവന്റ് ഡേ, ടൈം, അങ്ങനത്തെ ക്രെഡൻഷ്യൽസ് ആവശ്യങ്ങൾ ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോമിൽ ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യാം. കണ്ടിന്യൂ. അത് ഗൂഗിൾ ഫോമിലേക്ക് ഒരു മാപ്പിലേക്ക് റീഡയറക്ട് ചെയ്യും. നമുക്ക് ലൊക്കേഷൻ സ്പോട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. അത് നമുക്ക് നെക്സ്റ്റ് എഡിറ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആ ഇവന്റ് അവിടെ സേവ്ഡ് ആയി. ഇത് നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഇവന്റ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു മെനു ഉണ്ട്, അത് ഓൾ ഇവന്റ്സ് ലിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സംഭവം. അവിടെ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ കറന്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന മീറ്റപ്പ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സാധനം റിഫ്ലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ എല്ലാ യൂസേഴ്സിനും നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ കറന്റ് ഒരു മീറ്റപ്പ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഇവന്റ്സ് ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ദേ ക്യാൻ ഡു ഇറ്റ് ത്രൂ ദിസ് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ. ഇവന്റ് ലൊക്കേഷൻസ് ഡയറക്ട്ലി അവിടെ നിന്ന് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് വ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഇത് അലോങ് വിത്ത് ഫ്രണ്ട് ആയിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുക ചാറ്റ് സിസ്റ്റം നമ്മൾ ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ഉദ്ദേശിച്ചതും ബാക്ക് എൻഡ് ഒക്കെ API സെറ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഫ്രണ്ട് എൻഡിലേക്ക് ഇന്റഗ്രേഷൻസ് വി റിക്വയർ മച്ച് മോർ ടൈം. ദെൻ ജോബ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ലാസ്റ്റ് കാറ്റഗറിയാണ് ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഡിപെൻഡൻസ്. ഈ ഡിസേബിൾഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റിക്ക് ഏറ്റവും അത്യാവശ്യമായ കാര്യം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഫൈനാൻഷ്യൽ ഡിപെൻഡൻസ് ആണ്. പല ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ട്സും ദേ ആർ പ്ലാനിങ് ഫോർ ഗിവിംഗ് ജോബ്സ് ടു ദിസ് ഡിസേബിൾഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി. അപ്പൊ ദിസ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ നമ്മൾ ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒരു വെബ്സൈറ്റ് നമ്മൾ ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതായത് ഒരു ഹാൻഡി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഹെൽപ്പ് ഹാൻഡി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ വെബ്സൈറ്റ്സ് ഇൻ വെച്ച് HR മാനേജേഴ്സ് കമ്പനീസിന് അവിടെ ഹോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, ജോബ്സ് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. ആ ജോബ്സ് ഈ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷന്റെ ജോബ് പോർട്ടലിൽ ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ചെയ്യാം. അലോങ് വിത്ത് ഗാർഡിയനും ഇത് കാണാനുള്ള ഒരു ഇതുണ്ട്. ഇത് വെബ്സൈറ്റ് കറന്റ്ലി റണ്ണിങ് ആണ് ഓൺലൈനിൽ. കമ്പനികൾക്ക് അവരുടെ HR-മാർക്ക് ലോഗിൻ ചെയ്ത് മൊബൈൽ നമ്പർ OTP വാലിഡേഷൻ വെച്ച് എൻ്റർ ചെയ്ത് ജോബ് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. OTP വാലിഡേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഈ രണ്ട് ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട് ഈ കമ്പനിക്കാർക്ക്, HR മാനേജേഴ്സിന്. either they can post a new job or പാസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ജോബ്സ് വ്യൂ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ ഇതിനകത്ത് ജോബ് ടൈറ്റിലും ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻസും LPA കാറ്റഗറീസ് അങ്ങനത്തെ ക്രെഡൻഷ്യൽസ് ചോദിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ഇത് ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ. അപ്പൊ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനിൽ റിഫ്ലക്ട് ചെയ്ത് നമുക്ക് നോക്കാം. അവിടെ ടെസ്റ്റിംഗ് ന്യൂ ജോബ് എന്നുള്ള പുതിയ ജോബ് റിഫർ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഇങ്ങനെ HR മാനേജേഴ്സിന് ആ വെബ്സൈറ്റിൽ കയറി ജോബ് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം ഡിസേബിൾഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റീസിന്. അപ്പൊ ഇവർക്കൊരു ഈ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഇത് വെച്ച് ജോബിന് അപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യാം. പിന്നെ ഒരു സേഫ്റ്റി ഫീച്ചർ ആയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ 3 ഷേക്ക് വാർണിംഗ് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. 3 ഷേക്ക് വാർണിംഗ് എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു 3 ഷേക്ക് കൊടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി അത് ഒരു കോൾ സിസ്റ്റം കൊടുക്കും. എമർജൻസി ഒരു ഗാർഡിയന് ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി കോള് പോകുന്ന സിസ്റ്റം 3 ഷേക്ക്. കറന്റ് വർക്കിംഗ് ആയിരുന്നു, ഇപ്പൊ എന്തോ അറിഞ്ഞൂല റണ്ണിങ് ആവില്ല.
So for computer vision and object detection you have implemented, which models are you using? Which ML model you are using? Okay, so for the object detection and computer vision you have implemented in the application, which ML models you are using?
ഞങ്ങളുടെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഗൂഗിളിന്റെ തന്നെ APIs ആണ് ഞങ്ങളോട് യൂസ് ചെയ്യണത്. അവരുടെ പാക്കേജ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഫോണിന്റെ അകത്ത് തന്നെ പ്രോസസ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള രീതിയിലുള്ള പാക്കേജ് ഞങ്ങൾ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ. അണ്ടർ ദ ഹുഡ് അവർ യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന മീഡിയ പൈപ്പ് ആയിരിക്കും.
On device detection or
on device detection. On device.
Firebase ML kit ആണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്?
അല്ലല്ല, ഞങ്ങൾ ഗൂഗിളിന്റെ ML kit ആണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഫയർബേസ് ആയിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇപ്പൊ കണക്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല. ഫയർബേസ് ആയിട്ട് കണക്ട് ചെയ്തത് FTM ടോക്കൺ കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടി മാത്രമല്ല, പുഷ് നോട്ടിഫിക്കേഷൻ അയക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി.
Okay, so thank you, team Mind Hacks.
ലാസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഞങ്ങള് ഇതുകൊണ്ട് വി ആർ നോട്ട് പ്ലാനിങ് ടു എൻഡ് ഫ്യൂച്ചറായിട്ട് പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഒരു ഓപ്പൺ സോഴ്സ് പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്യുക, കോൺട്രിബ്യൂഷൻസ് സ്വീകരിക്കുക, അങ്ങനെ പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലെ ഇന്നോവേറ്റീവ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള പുതിയ പുതിയ ഐഡിയാസ് ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യാനും പിന്നെ ഹാർഡ്വെയർ ആയിട്ട് ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനും ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ലെൻസ് ആയിട്ട് ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് ഐഡന്റിഫിക്കേഷൻ. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. Is Team Cypher present in the meet? Team Cypher? Is Team Cypher present in the meet? Okay, so we have now come to the end of the final product presentation round. Results will be announced soon and will be released in our website. So thank you all for your participation. You can now leave the meeting. Thank you so much.